DisAfterDark is a member of the MiceChat Podcast Network, MicePod.com. Now, the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Warning, this show contains childish adult content and is intended for immature, mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. The views spoken are ours and ours alone, not those of any other blogger. If you're easily offended, we strongly suggest finding another podcast. Everybody neat and pretty, then on with the show. I wonder how many other podcasts have a nearly 60-second opening title.
I don't think any of that indulgent, are they?
No. It's an ego thing, surely. Thank you. It's a good audience for outdoors because it's a lovely evening in the beer garden of the Mouse's Head. Welcome back, people. Yes. I'm Paul.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Paul.
If you didn't know that by now. And yeah.
You will never know.
Yeah. I just want to follow. And we are Diz After Dark. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're definitely three thirds of.
Yeah.
No, we're really 3/4.
Yeah.
Because if we're 3/3, that's it. But we're 3/4 of Diz After Dark.
And if I turn around and we are wild stallions, how many people would get the reference?
Well, I'd hope all our listeners, to be honest, because if you're not old enough to know that reference, you shouldn't be listening.
Yeah, indeed. Right, gentlemen, should we get on?
Yeah.
Straight on with that.
Let's go.
Okay. First of all, what should we order from the bar? What do you fancy?
Well, I've gone for something unusual. No Disney theme, so let me go first.
That's all right. I've managed to do that as well this show.
Oh, good. So I've got, and by the way, after last show, I've got my taste buds back. The Stella Artois Cidre Peach was actually very nice. If a little bit girly, but then it's fruit cider. What do you expect? Yeah. So on that note, I've also gone for another fruit cider. This is called Pim's Cider Cup.
Okay. And
it is that didn't make any noise. That was embarrassing. Yeah. It is a cider with an English cider with a hint of Pimm's, a hint of strawberry and cucumber. Cheers!
How very, very English for this pub garden evening. What does a drink with a hint of strawberry and cucumber taste like?
Well, I've got to be honest because I hate cucumber. I'm not really keen on strawberry, and to be honest, it just tastes like cider. With a very, very faint twinge of Pimm's.
Oh, Mr. D, have you managed to get a shoehorn a Disney theme into it?
Not exactly, but I didn't go for Wild Stallion. I went for Wildwood Organic Cider.
Organic? It must be coming into summer. We are very cider-based.
Hang on, are you guys getting paid for this now or something?
No.
Organic? Sounds costly.
It just means they're not genetically modified apples. They grew.
I'm having a bottle malfunction here.
Well, mine didn't make any noise at all. I'm very disappointed, to be honest.
Having had the traditional weekend barbecue at some point, I've just got leftovers. So I need a vote. Do I go for the can of Green King IPA, or do I go for the can of Adnams Southwold first? I'll finish them both before the end of the show, but which one shall I go for first?
Go for the green one first.
The green one. Yeah, Green King first. It's in alphabetical order, so that will do.
Any chicken drumsticks left?
Traditional barbecued chicken drumsticks where they're charcoal on the outside and the blood still drips down your cheeks.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. There's a few left.
I suppose is this going to be the last time that we're able to drink alcohol? Because everyone keeps telling me now we've got a Tory government in the UK that it means I can't afford anything anymore.
Well, no, we are a separate, independent entity.
Yeah.
We will be.
At least that's something.
We'll be having our own. We'll be declaring independence.
Yeah.
And having our own elections and forming an army to defend our borders.
And should anyone wish to join our army,
they
can find out details of that from our website, www.DisAfterDark.com, or they can email us at podcast@DisAfterDark.com.
And since the price of alcohol is reputed to go up, I almost couldn't say that there. God, this is strong stuff. If they want to send us any instructions instructions as to how to make a still so we can brew our own, they can reach us on Twitter at DisAfterDark, facebook.com/DisAfterDark, and we're on MiceChat.com.
And then I join in and say like an Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and all that lot. But that was very professional, actually keeping us on track when we did get sidetracked and spent the first 5 minutes not getting where we need to be.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I don't know if anyone's noticed so far, but it's just the three of us.
it is.
But we can make it if we try.
Yeah.
You know,
I raise a glass to absent friends.
indeed.
That's not to say he's dead yet.
No. I believe he's driving a train.
That's the sort of thing they say when, but I just mean absent because he's not here.
And congratulations to our guests from the last show, of course, the Fur Adventures of Walt's Frozen Head, who, thanks, of course, for his appearance on our podcast, managed to fulfil his Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah,
Smash through the barrier.
Yeah, despite the fact that I managed to at least get the advertising out with 1 day to spare.
Shut up, Paul. And that 1 day was what boosted it over the line.
That was it. Just
Yeah. We tipped it over. And
watch out for our credits on the film.
I also, I believe our social media expert was able to get us a credit on the film. I also did my own private donation, and I have applied for the position of silent Foley artist.
Silent?
Nice.
Well, I explain. So obviously, Mr. D doesn't know what a Foley artist is, and to those
did you not do Sounds Amazing with Drew Carey?
Yeah.
Well, that's what a Foley artist. A Foley artist is the person that makes the sound effects for films and TV shows.
Or was that the Sounds Dangerous one with Martin Short? That was originally the sound effects.
Sounds Dangerous was the Drew Carey one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was that with Martin Short?
Martin Short does Cine Magique,
Canada,
Disneyland Paris, and O Canada. Yeah.
I'm sure he used to do an old one where people actually made sound effects of like.
You could be right, because I know that building was occupied by something before Drew Carey.
Yeah.
So you could be right, but yeah. So I thought the position, because it did say it had to be a fictional title, and I always wanted to be a Foley artist when I was a kid. So I thought silent Foley artist would be quite a treat.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make an appearance as Mr. Disney's Frost stylist. Look out for it.
I can't wait for further action on that. So obviously we'll keep you updated, and I believe Benjamin said he will come back because he didn't hate us too much.
Indeed.
So that's always good news. So because we didn't have a guest tonight, we asked on our social media if anybody had any questions they wanted to ask us.
They did. So I won't do news. I've dug out some old jingles.
Ooh.
This one.
We have a retro theme.
Question of the day. What's the FAQ?
Anyone remember that one from Series 1?
I do remember that one. I still remember that the most impressive thing when we did our first ever episode, and for those who have never heard the first ever episode, please do, because it's ridiculous. I imagine listening back to it now. I
might even have to now. Yeah.
But the thing that amazed me the most is just when we was doing it was the fact that I expected to just do a really cruddy podcast, no kind of production values at all or anything like that. Just two blokes talking on the phone. And the first thing that happened was he's like, "Oh, I've got a jingle," and played that. And I was like, "Oh shit!" It sounds like he's actually put some money on this.
Nah.
Just a quiet swear.
No, no money spent on it. Just called in some favours. Okay. Should we start? We're going to start. I'll tell you what. I'll talk over you. You talk over me. No one will get anything done, and then we can go in an hour's time. Okay. Start at the top then. Who's asking?
Well, I think I would have started at the top, but it looks like it's now at the bottom. It looks like it's all in a weird order. So
that's Facebook.
Definitely the first question I saw.
All right.
Was from our good friend, Mr. Lee Manaby, at the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. If you wish to listen to a podcast that isn't Disney related or features us, please listen to that one. Who said, if you could take one ride system from Universal Orlando, I believe he means the Universal Orlando Resort, what would it be, and what theme would you make it?
That is a great question. And just to show that we've prepared and we've all thought about this, who wants to go first?
Well, I could cheat and go first.
Go on then.
Because what I would do is I would take out the Spider-Man ride.
Yeah.
And I'd plonk it in Hollywood Studios
as a
Spider-Man ride. Surely that's allowed, isn't it?
Well, whether it's allowed or not, or whether it's within the spirit of the game.
According to the lawyers, it's not allowed. Okay. Not yet.
Okay.
I had thought about this actually. I did find it very interesting questions. Thank you, Lee. I mean, I actually thought of a few.
Oh, far away.
I think the technology that I've been most impressed with at Universal is probably. I mean, I've not been in Diagon Alley, so I can't talk about the new coaster there. But I did love the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride, and I think the technology used there with the arm is excellent. So I think I would go for that technology, and I would incorporate it into a Star Wars themed attraction, probably themed around the X-Wing attack on the Death Star from A New Hope.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think that could be, with the domes and everything like that, I think that could be used quite well, and you could have some practical ships.
Yeah.
As well, so it looks like they're actually flying towards you and stuff like that. So that was my first thought of that, was to take that technology from that ride and move that to Hollywood Studios for Star Wars. What about yourselves?
All right, Mr. D, go on.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought about Forbidden Journey, but the other one that you've already mentioned it, Nick, that it's a bit different from anything in Disney, because I think that's the problem. Some of the ride systems are the same, so to me there's only a couple that are different, and the other one is a Spider-Man ride. So it was kind of thinking about what to retheme the Spider-Man ride around, and I came at it from the point of view of, well, what isn't in the parks that I like that would make a good ride, and for me The Incredibles is a big gap, so I'd like to see the Spider-Man ride rethemed as an Incredibles type attraction.
Okay, I like it.
Good call.
Yeah,
good call. I think Epcot needs a few more thrill rides, especially in World Showcase. Mm-hmm. You could, at a push, say at least Future World has got the Mission Space and the Sum of All Thrills that used to be there, and the Test Track, whatever. But I think World Showcase needs some thrill rides. So I would take Rip Ride Rocket, and I would place it in England. I think that's the natural place for it. And I would theme it around the Battle of Britain, where you sit in the car and it's a Spitfire or a Hurricane, and I'm not going to be biased. Obviously, it's 70th anniversary of VA Day here, and the music they're playing, rather than giving you a choice of rock and roll, would be something traditionally British, like Iron Maiden's Aces High.
Yeah. And the car in front of you is a Messerschmitt. So you're like chasing it, dogfighting it, or a Fokker.
Oh, and if you took some more ride, I guess it's almost Toy Story Mania or Buzz Lightyear or the Men in Black, and put little guns on them, you score points for hitting the back of the other car in front of you.
Now you're talking.
As you're going on a roller coaster, you have to shoot stuff. I think that's got potential for me.
Yeah. When you said you were going to put it in England, I thought you were going to retheme it as Rip Ride Stevenson's Rocket. I thought that's where you were going.
A little bit slow, yeah. It's a little bit slower.
Steam-powered roller coaster.
Ooh, yeah. That's how very Disneyland Paris. Bit of steampunk for you.
Did no one think about maybe taking the attraction known as Twister, because obviously that's got very good ride technology.
Yeah, and theming it. Well, again, that could go in the England section of Epcot again, and you could always have it introduced by Michael Fish. There's going to be people that's going to go completely over their head, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, we've just alienated all of our American listeners.
Yeah, Michael.
So nearly everyone that listens to this
Does
show.
any, shall we actually
Give them the
a
insight.
few years ago, there was some particularly strong winds that blew down some trees, and it became known as a great hurricane. It wasn't really. It was nothing. There was no Bill Paxton going mad and chasing it around. But it was announced with our one of our BBC TV weathermen standing in front of his little map the night before, saying, "No, there's nothing scheduled. There's no hurricane. There's no big wind coming in. It'll be a normal night like any other night." And his name was Michael Fish, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I thought because John Ketley was a weatherman.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Michael Fish.
I think it was. Yeah,
I mean,
indeed.
it wouldn't be
No, it was
like us to
Michael
be factually inaccurate, would it? Let's be honest.
Not at all.
Or how about possibly taking the ride system from one fish, two fish, and transposing it, and maybe, I don't know, making, because it goes round and up and down, maybe making it something like some magic carpets, or maybe some rocket ships in Tomorrowland, or possibly even some elephants in Dumbo. I think,
I don't know. There's just this kind of feeling I've got that it might have been done, but I'm not. I don't know why I would have that thought.
because I don't think across most theme parks around the world there's enough rides that go round and round and up and down.
And a bit of up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
You've got a good point. It's something that they could do more of. Yeah.
Maybe they can enhance the technology somewhat by making them tilt backwards and forwards a bit.
It's like a 4D type thing.
Yeah.
I like your thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know what we could feel it too.
Yeah,
but-
I might have to work on that idea a bit more.
I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm thinking about what else is there and stuff they're lacking. I mean, I was thinking about The Simpsons,
Yeah.
but really, we've got Star Tours, and yes,
Yeah.
the technology is different, but it is still.
It's a simulator
simulator.
of sorts.
Yeah.
Um, So, I mean, I suppose really the Revenge of the Mummy,
Yeah.
and I think I would have to take that technology and try and do something with Tron around it. I'm not quite sure if it would be. Well, I mean, it'd certainly be frilly enough for something like Tron. You know, a light cycle type thing.
Yeah, type vehicle going backwards and forwards.
yeah.
It wouldn't be flames, it would be digital stuff.
But maybe saying that, maybe really that would probably be better with the technology from the Transformers.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So maybe that actually, maybe that. I mean, I actually think. I mean, I know we've got the Tron coaster coming in Shanghai soon, and that's going to be its own little thing. But I think that technology could really work well with Tron, actually.
Yeah, what about that walkthrough one? Is it Poseidon's Fury?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything to theme it to, but I love that. I love
Yeah.
that walkthrough. I think it's very,
It's a
very
bit
clever.
different, isn't it? It's a different sort of experience. Yeah.
Barely remember it, so.
No, it is fun.
Yeah. I definitely remember it, but it's one that we haven't really been back a couple of times.
I've got to be honest. I know we're not doing a news-based bit at the moment, but I've got to be honest. The announcement of Kong Island this week, because the big regret I've had in my life is never being able to experience Confrontation.
Yeah.
That was the one ride I always wanted to go on when I was a kid, and the fact that I imagine they're not going to build a new animatronic Kong. So I'm guessing it will be a 3D projection or something, or maybe not even 3D, but just a projection of him instead. But it's still the pictures they've shown so far, and the areas that's being built is quite big, and I think it's going to be an amazing ride.
'Cause if they build a massive animatronic Kong, are they going to learn the lessons learned by the Yeti? Or is it, or in about 4 years' time, is there going to be this massive disco Kong?
But I think that's one of the reasons why they wanted to get rid of that attraction in the first place, was because it did used to break down quite a lot, and it was quite temperamental because of technology. And if you think about how big Kong was, and I mean, it was the biggest animatronic ever built, still to this day, and probably within good reason.
You can never have enough massive Kong.
Well, no, look, you're talking to the or the right person for that. But yeah, I mean, I think they're going to do a good job. I think it's going to be a great ride. I'd love it to be more like the original, just because I'm selfish. But yeah, really looking forward to that. So I can't unfortunately take that to Disneyland. So yeah, I think I still think they could probably do something with the Mummy, but I'm struggling to think of a theme. What's Disney got that's really thrilling? $1 Million Arm? Not really, no.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
No. No, unless you mean the Mickey Mouse version.
Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, well, there's new Pete's Dragon coming out.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
There is.
You know what? Move it to World Showcase. Take the Mummy attraction, move it to World Showcase. Move it to the American Pavilion. And it can be a Phineas and Ferb roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now,
whereabouts in World Showcase?
American Pavilion.
You reckon?
Yeah, because there's not much there, is there? Yeah, another thing, because not the reason why I was thinking it, but that's been cancelled this week. So no more Phineas and Ferb. That's unfortunately going to be ceased to be created. But because of the fact there's so many episodes, it's not going to be going off anyone's TV for about the next 5 years. So we'll still know about it. But I mean, have you guys actually ever seen Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the kind of thing, if they wanted to build like an amazing roller coaster, you can see that. You know, they've got the flame effects as well. That can be incorporated into it.
All right.
And
I'm going to ask Lee the same question in reverse, but okay, you've got one choice. You can take one ride system from a Disney park and put it in Universal. Go on then.
He's not here.
I know. So you can have a go.
From a Disney park, something that Universal hasn't got then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think something they could do with the Kong Island is It's a Small World type ride with boats and really small monkeys leading up to the Kong at the end.
Yeah,
Small dancing and singing.
cartoonies?
Yeah, small cartoon dancing and singing monkeys.
It's a King Kong after all. It's a King Kong. No, I'll be dreaming about that tonight. I'm not gonna say what you are.
You were about to doubt my parentage, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know what? I would take the Dumbo attraction, and I'd probably theme it to Dr. Zeus in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Goes round and round and up and down.
Yeah.
The next few questions I've got are shared equally between Kevin and Lewis.
I like it. That's how I like it to be.
Yeah.
I would take the technology from. Joe can't answer the serious answer. I would take the ride technology from the Ellen's Energy Adventure and throw that to Universal, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. But they need a boring ride as much as we do at Disney.
I think Ellen's Energy Adventure just needs to be moved slightly within World Showcase.
Outside the park?
A couple of 100 yards down and into the lake.
Yeah. But no, you know what? You can Universal, as a gift to you from giving us the rides that we've just taken from you, we will give you the right technology from Test Track, and you can finally do something with the Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least make it a figure of 8 so you can drift, though.
I have to do in Tokyo, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that could work quite well.
Cool. Okay, let's pick one of the other questions. Simple, almost binary question. What is your favourite Disney movie? Can be live action or animated. Craig butted and answered that one with The Further Adventures of Walt's Frozen Head. So I guess that answer's now been stolen.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same. I hate when people ask questions like this. Not that it's a bad question; it's a good question.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, I think quite often it depends on your mood.
Yep.
That's just your mood. Very often depends on your mood. My favourite film of all time changes on a regular basis. I couldn't really have one.
But it's fairly Tron based.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I do love Tron. I know people picked up on that. I do love Tron and Tron Legacy, but at the same time, I'm also the first to admit they're not very good films. I love them, but they're not amazing in the history of film. They've got amazing effects. They've got an average story. They've got reasonable acting. They're not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but they just mean something to me. Even though I'm really sick of it now, I still think Toy Story 3 is pretty close to perfection in terms of story, and the emotional attachment you have with the characters, especially ones that are essentially just toys. Yeah. I think that's where that kind of comes into its own. I really like Dick Tracy as well.
Okay, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I know it's not very well loved, but that's another film that I think is quite underrated, really. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to stick with those two. There's a live action and an animated one.
Okay.
But we all know the true answer is Tron Legacy, so...
Yeah.
There you go.
I agree completely that it depends on what mood you're in. But if I was going to have a go-to film, because I was in a completely neutral, I don't care what, I just want to watch a film, nothing else is on telly, my go-to film would always be Star Wars. Episode 4, A New Hope. But whether that classifies as Disney, because although Disney have bought Lucasfilm, if you actually download the digital downloads from for iTunes, A New Hope is the only one they haven't changed the Lucasfilm intro on, and the 20th Century Fox fanfare.
Right. So before I get into why, so with the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and so forth. So what is the opening to those then?
The opening to them, they've added a slightly different fanfare, and it now opens with the Disney Buena Vista Entertainment.
Really?
But it's a very similar sounding fanfare, but it's not the 20th Century Fox fanfare. Yeah, but my digital download of A New Hope still had the 20th Century Fox searchlights and stingers.
Yeah,
that's what
I can answer that for you.
Go on then.
So when Disney bought Lucasfilm, and obviously the main reason for buying Lucasfilm was because they wanted Star Wars.
Yep.
It gave them the rights to everything made after episode. Well, I'm sorry. Let me start again because I'm obviously sounding drunk. When they bought Lucasfilm, it gave them the rights from everything, including Episode 5 and beyond, that has been made by Lucasfilm. Episode 4, the lifetime rights to that are owned by Fox.
Yeah.
So with the deal that they've done, because obviously there's no new box set that's come out or anything like that, and again, when that happens, and it will do, when they want to release a new box set, they're going to have to cut a deal with Fox to do that. Now, it seems like what's happened is that they're obviously come to an agreement with Fox for digital download, which also includes the Fox logo still being at the front of the film, but that's why it'd be different for the rest of the films.
Yeah, there you go, you see.
So it's interesting. Yeah. But, I don't want to pick up on a technicality, but, in my opinion, it wasn't made by Disney, or it wasn't made for Disney.
Exactly. So I'm going to throw a curveball out there for a rare and lesser-known Disney film, Dragon Slayer.
It's Dennis Quaid.
No, that was Dragon Slayer was years ago, like early 80s.
Right.
Very rarely seen. I don't see, and I haven't seen it for a long time, but it always sticks in my mind. Maybe it's because it was around at the time when Dungeons and Dragons was the big fad, and that was the thing I was playing at.
But it's a very you know, that the early 80s is a very weird time for Disney, because that's at a time when
Dragon Slayer, 1981.
Yeah, Peter McNicol.
Yeah.
As well, Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney. Yeah, because I imagine it would have been a Buena Vista release rather than Disney.
Yeah.
Not that matters, but you know, because I mean, obviously, it sounds a bit more than a normal Disney film.
It's an 81 action adventure kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see if it's even on.
And the Emperor's in it as well.
Yeah.
Ian McDiarmid.
Someone has fired up IMDb in the background. He is indeed.
Yeah. It's because of audio. This is what it says: a co-production between Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney Productions. Dragon Slayer was more mature and realistic than other Disney films of the period. Because of audience expectations for a more family-friendly film from Disney, the film's violence, adult themes, and brief nudity were somewhat controversial at the time, even though Disney did not hold US distribution rights, which were held by Paramount. Disney later created Touchstone Pictures to produce more mature fare starting in 1984's Splash. Yeah. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know when Touchstone started. But that makes sense.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite Disney films.
Because I mean,
I haven't seen it for so long. Yeah.
I've not seen for a long time the Black Cauldron, which was I think 85 Disney film. But it seemed to be, you know, at that time, Disney were kind of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing if anything stuck.
Would we also count Henson as Disney?
Well,
I would only count anything that was from about 92 onwards, when they actually started to co-produce stuff.
The Dark Crystal?
No, it's too early.
All right, Mr. D, come on in.
Well, I was gonna go Muppets as well. Probably either Muppet Christmas Carol or Muppet Treasure Island. And then I was also going to cheat with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
You and your Lucasfilm loopholes.
Yeah.
Well, at least one of them's been in the parks a lot longer. Yeah.
That's right. If I don't get away with any of that, then I'd probably go back to something light. And again, it does depend what mood. Pixar, yep, had to beat Toy Story, but I really like Up.
Yeah.
And Wall-E.
Yeah.
How many can I have?
You know what? I think that's the problem, though, is that I think, because, you know, technically, you know, it does say Disney, and Disney and Pixar were kind of separate until, like, the noughties. But you find them so synonymous with each other. But I mean, I think one thing that Pixar have done so well, with the very odd blip in that period, is just tell stories like no one else. Except maybe the Japanese, when it comes to animation films and it being kind of edgy. But I mean, the first 15 minutes of Up is just phenomenal. Yeah. Even now, it gets you. You know, we've mentioned Toy Story and how clever they were. Wall-E, you know, it's got almost no speaking for the first 20 minutes of the film. You know, just pushing the boundaries of what is considered to be mainstream animation from a company like that. And also as well, the fights they've had, because, you know, they had a real struggle making Up because of the promotional times, with the toy companies turning around and saying, what are we supposed to do? No one wants to buy toys of an old man and a Boy Scout and a floating house. You know, and that was a real bone of contention. You know, they had to really push hard that this film was going to work against things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's a different kettle of fish. I think you can name a lot of Pixar films like that. Also, we didn't mention things like more recent fare like John Carter, which I think is really good and underrated.
Yeah, but would it make a list of favourite films? I don't think it's not as it may be a good film, it's well made and underrated, but I don't think it'll ever be classified as someone's beloved film.
No, I just watched it for the first time about 3 weeks ago, and I thought it was pretty good. I quite liked it. I mean, I don't know why it got slated. Well, I don't know why it got slated, but I don't think it deserved to get slated. I thought it was a pretty decent film.
I think it did what it needs to do. It told a story told an old story in a new way.
Yeah.
I don't think there was much wrong with it, but I just think it was. They expected it to be more, and I think there's that thing where when there's a troubled production, people like to jump on it.
Yeah.
And similar, it happened similarly to the Lone Ranger, which, in my opinion, actually deserved what it got. I think John Carter was treated quite badly, really, and was just seen. And also, I mean, you can argue that with a few of their things like that. Even with Tron, the marketing for it just didn't go anywhere, and they wonder why these films don't make as much money as they expect them to. Do I think they're going to learn anything from Tron 3? No. I don't think they're going to make the exact same mistakes they did last time. And to be honest, does Disney care anymore? Not that much. They've got Star Wars.
And Marvel.
Cool.
But
Marvel.
I did forget Big Hero 6. I really like Big Hero 6. I thought that was a great film.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I'm going to buy that on Blu-ray, and I'm looking forward to watching that again. I think that's going to be one of my favourites.
And Wreck-It Ralph, actually. Jeez.
Yeah.
Disney films recently have been pretty good, and no mention of Frozen good.
Yeah. And I'll throw in one.
I shall go and ask my 5 and 8 year old. What's your favourite Disney film? I guarantee I know the answer. Yeah.
What's that? What will they say? Frozen.
They'll say Frozen.
Frozen. But I will throw in one as an honourable mention, which might be a little bit controversial, but it's because the later films have actually soured the opinion of the first one. Any idea where I'm going with this?
Well, unless you're going to go down the Star Wars route as well. But,
No, I'm sticking pure Disney. Pure Disney.
Latest ones of
Connection to the theme parks as well.
Pirates.
Yeah. I like the original Pirates. I thought the original pirate film was really good.
Yeah.
Later ones.
I think the first one, from being theme park aficionados, there were so many little gotchas and little notices. The dog with the keys in its mouth, various things like that.
Yeah.
And then,
after that, it just becomes a film about pirates.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I think what happened was, again, Disney execs did not get it. They hated Johnny Depp impression of Keith Richards. They just didn't think it was going to work. Yeah. And so I think they kind of tried to shoot their load a little bit with the first one because they thought they might only, although they were aiming for a franchise, there was that feeling this may not work.
Yeah.
I actually don't. I've got a soft spot for the second Pirates, but the third one just bores me to tears, and the fourth one just lost the magic.
And the fifth one's on the make at the moment. Okay,
yeah,
there we go. Which does lead nicely into the next question.
Go on.
Which ride, not currently a movie, would you like to see made into a movie? Go on then.
Test Track the movie.
Interesting.
That'd be terrible. God, that's a tough question. We should have really done what we don't normally do and actually research the show.
The Circle 360. Visions of Canada.
Maelstrom the movie.
It's gone. It's gone.
Oh, yeah.
No good.
Oh no! How?
The Haunted Mansion.
Wait a minute. Just forgetting those ones.
It's going to be a crappy movie. And it's going to be a hopefully better movie. How about? I've lost it.
Big Thunder Mountain. That's the only one I can think of that hasn't been made.
It was gonna be one, wasn't it? And it didn't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Expedition Everest. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That'd make a movie.
Nice idea.
Yeah. Someone trying to find a mythical Yeti and the treasure that bestows upon finding it. Oh. Yeah. I can see that's a nice action romp starring
Carly
Joey Van Dyke and Carly Rae Jepsen.
Dick Van Dyke.
No, his son.
So Dave.
Oh no, sorry. Jerry Van Dyke is his brother, isn't it? Barry Von Dyke. Yeah, he's got to be in his 50s now.
I was thinking possibly a film of Carly River Rapids about a family that go on a raft and get stranded and have to get rescued.
That's pretty unlikely.
art imitating real life or something like that.
Oh, we could have done the Safari.
Yeah.
The Safari track.
In fact, Animal Kingdom appears to be the one that hasn't got the ride's name.
Yeah, maybe that's why it sucks so much.
Yeah.
Dinosaur, there you go. Dinosaur, that'd make a good movie.
Yeah, about a time travelling.
Yeah.
Someone who goes to
wasn't
get
it
a dinosaur.
originally? You know, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it originally supposed to be themed around the animated film of the same name? There aren't any ties to it.
You
No,
may be
the other way
right.
around, actually, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah, it started off as Countdown to Extinction.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And at the front, there was a statue of a Stegosaurus. And then they brought out the Disney film and they rethemed the ride and called it Dinosaur and put whatever the dinosaur is, Iguanodon? No.
Okay.
At the front. So they actually rethemed it to the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, we still got photographs of the first time we went. That's the original theming.
Okay. Yeah, because that would have been about 98, wouldn't it? It opened.
Yeah.
I think Dinosaurs around 2000, 2001.
Yeah, that's right. We went. Yeah, we went in '98 for the first time. That was our first trip.
How about the people move in a movie?
Yeah. Starring Craig Lucas
Splash
as the
Mountain.
driver.
Splash Mountain.
Unfortunately, Splash Mountain was a film.
No, it was a film that they took the ride out of, but it wasn't actually around it.
Oh no, sorry, I was getting confused with the Country Bears.
Flash Mountain. Oh no, that's a different movie.
And only available on specialist download.
Yeah.
There must be some more. Is there a film somewhere about a riverboat that just goes round and round and round? Don't know.
Or cars that go round and round and round. Autopia.
It's a Small World, the movie.
Oh, would that be
Would
that be like? I think there's already one about that. We can't use Small World because I think there's already been one called Chucky.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I really wish they'd actually followed through with that Jon Favreau project, the Magic Kingdom.
Whatever happened to that? Just
Or
died.
nothing.
Just died.
Yeah, it just got into development hell.
Doesn't Jon Favreau? Isn't he responsible for Tomorrowland?
No, that's Brad Bird, who also directed the Incredibles and Ratatouille. No, Jon Favreau is doing the Jungle Book, the live-action Jungle Book for Disney at the moment. So he's still doing a Disney project, just not that one.
Just not the one we actually want.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Jungle Book will be okay, but I'm not looking...
Because there haven't been enough live-action Jungle Books.
Exactly. I've got a question.
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, the
That's
movie.
about right.
Jungle Cruise, the movie.
There was some rumours that was going to happen a little while ago as well. I seem to remember even a couple of our early podcasts actually alluded to the fact that
I think
there were
that's
rumours.
Right.
With the CGI technology we've got these days, you'd be able to recreate the backside of water, and it'd be very realistic.
Yeah.
It would be.
Almost like the real thing.
Or filmed against a green screen.
I'm going to pop over to Twitter.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you for that question as well, Lewis. We did get a question on Twitter, which was from One You at Disney.
Yeah.
So, recent guest of the show, who said, if you were restricted to I can't even pronounce my R's now. If you were restricted to ride one ride for the whole day, breaking for only potty and eating, which would you choose? Which is quite... So what he's done is he's essentially taken what he's trying to do with 1 year at the park and condensed that to one ride for the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
First things first, we're all grown up here. You can use the word toilet without having to use the word potty.
But we do have potty mouth sometimes. That's probably where he was going with that.
It always makes me giggle in the park to hear some grown adult turn around and go, "Do you want to go potty?
Do you want to go potty?" I usually shout, "Yes!"
Yay!
Only if I can use your fanny pack. Yeah, so come on, guys. We're going.
Easy. That's easy. Toy Story Midway Mania.
Oh, very good.
Oh, that's it.
Different.
He's stolen it. He's
Up your
stolen it.
score.
That's the only one I could do over and over again. Does the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular count? Because eventually you will get picked.
It's not a ride though, is it?
If you go to Cali River Rapids, you might be there all day anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, if recent news is anything to go by.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like, Paul's come away with the best answer
Yeah,
because
that's it.
the
You
thing
got there
is,
first.
what you've got to think about is if you're doing this all day long, you don't want something that's going to make you too motion sick.
No.
Because I was thinking, oh, test track, easy, love that ride. But to be doing that all day long, you'd probably get a bit queasy after a while.
Yeah.
So I think with that in mind, Utopia.
Yeah.
The Tomorrowland Speedway. What's it called there?
Whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting concept for all day. That constant.
Oh god, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I was thinking
constant.
Jungle Cruise, but then you got to hear those
Jokes.
crappy jokes all day long.
Yeah, yeah. If I could do it in Hong Kong, I'd go with the Jungle Cruise, and I'd do it in the 3 different languages of English and the 2 various Chinese languages.
That was a good one. That was a good show. That was. You tell us about that. That was cracking.
Yeah, that's where I'd go with that one. I'd quite happily spend all day because just to hear them laughing in Chinese. There's nothing racist about it. I just find it funny. Oh Christ, I don't know. A whole day on one ride and never leaving it would be a hell of a challenge.
Yeah.
People mover.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
As long
not
as
a
you
bad
can
shout,
take
'cause-
sandwiches
Yeah. You see the world go by.
and an
Again.
iPad fully charged to watch films on while you're going around.
Yeah. We could go on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin.
Yeah, and hopefully, because if you get a bit travel sick, you can always not spin it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Spaceship Earth?
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
one. It's
Got a
quite
little sleep
chilled
on the way
out.
down.
Ellen's Energy Adventure for the same reason.
Yep.
Hall of Presidents.
Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
But again, you get the song, don't you?
Yeah, the song would do
Yeah,
it.
you'd be a blithering idiot by the time you came off.
I mean,
If you were before.
If you went before, yeah.
I apologise. I'm not burning your flag or anything, but the same could be said for the American Adventure if you sat in that show all day, because eventually that golden dream would get to you. Yeah,
So what would you definitely not want to be on for the whole
Oh, it's
day?
a small world. Come on.
Yeah, that's a horror.
I mean, again, it's not even a ride because I mean, you know, if you were able to wear noise cancelling headphones, I think I could actually ride that all day
Oh, yeah.
because it's quite easy going, isn't it? It's nice
Yeah.
and
I
chilled.
wonder if they work.
Yeah.
That would have to. But we need someone to go to the park with a pair of noise cancelling headphones on and ride It's a Small World and tell us if they work. First person to do that wins a prize.
I think you'd have to get, the little earbud ones. You'd have to get the earbud ones, noise cancelling, and then on top of those, the big cans as well.
A massive set of safety cans.
Yeah, it might work.
They just work.
Oh no, I think if I could almost survive on It's a Small World over and over again because again, it's not motion sickness, but it's
Mission Space, Orange
or
Team, that
Tower
would
of Terror.
Yeah,
Over
so I
and
love
over
Tower of
again.
Terror, but I wouldn't want to be on all day.
Yeah,
Rock and Roller Coaster, same. Like,
Yeah.
I love it, but I don't think I could do that all day.
no,
Yeah.
I'd end up with some sort of neck brace on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or could you imagine doing Space Mountain all day? If you're talking about neck brace.
Oh,
Yeah,
I find that ride ridiculously hard going anyway.
it is.
Let
Yeah,
alone, I go on it out of nostalgia. I don't actually like it at all. I find it very, very uncomfortable.
although if we were going down the California route, if you were to do Matterhorn all day long, it wouldn't do your Chalfont St Giles any good whatsoever.
No.
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So thanks for that question.
Won't they come up with some bizarre geolocation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a Cockney rhyming slang dictionary that Chalfont St Giles will look at? Just take a rubber ring with you. Okay, what was next?
Simple
Simple question. Are you going to enter a team for the Disneyland Paris Half Marathon?
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? See, I don't think that is, because I've seen some of our podcast rivals do so. Now, I think that the problem with this already, the main problem with this, and other people, like other podcasts doing this, or other people doing this already, saying they're doing it, is that you can't just walk into this thing. Well, you can, but what I mean is you have to apply for it. You have to, get a space.
Yeah.
Now, we've got no idea. It's the first ever one, Disneyland Paris. Got no idea how busy it's going to be. So, I think anyone that's saying already they're doing it, or they've got a team and sponsor and all that, you're getting a little bit ahead, just because unless you've got a guaranteed place by Disney, and apparently information is not actually out yet, just the date of next September, then I think you're getting a bit too excited. But me personally would love to do the Disneyland Paris half marathon. I'd like to do a full marathon, but I don't think my body can take it. But I could definitely think I could, with the right amount of prep, do a half marathon. So for me, I would be interested in trying to get a team organised for that event.
Well, I think, I don't necessarily want to speak for Mr. D, but I feel I probably will be. I say, are we going to enter a team for the Disneyland Paris half marathon? No, we're just going to sponsor Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't say there. Like, what it says there, are you going to enter a team? It doesn't say, are all of you going to be doing the race? So the thing is, if we've got listeners that would like to do it with a very, very... What's lower than Z list?
Oh,
it starts going numerical then, doesn't it?
Yeah, Z.
Yeah, so if we go not Z list, but number 7, rated celebrity on the alphabetical scale, then potentially you could join me, and we could have a little DisAfterDark team. With me as the only representation from the actual podcast. But that's fine.
Unless we can get some sort of professional sports people like Kelly Southerton or Jessica Ennis, because then I'd be quite happy to enter them into the race. Yeah,
I don't think we're going to get that. Unless they're big fans of the show. I don't know. We could ask.
I don't know. If anyone knows Kelly Southerton or Jessica Ennis, feel free to ask if we can enter them.
Jessica
into the race.
I got a first name.
Just to clean that up.
Just to make the joke and really drive home the point that I was making for complete smart.
Or Mo Farah, Okay, I'll ask my buddy Y2. He might do it. He's just run my buddy Y2. You haven't met him.
Is he a droid?
Is
he a droid?
Yes. He's just ran the London Marathon for the second year in a row, and also did the Brighton Marathon just before that. And I think he's got another marathon this year as well, so he's pretty fit. So he might do that with me. So in answer to your question there, Kevin, we might possibly enter a team. We just won't all be doing it. Craig will do it. He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, so we've entered Craig. We've entered Craig. That'll serve him right for driving, for working tonight.
Well, Craig should have been in.
And the team is already called 4 Fat Middle-Aged Pissheads. So
don't know where they got that.
Don't know where they got the other few from.
No.
There we go.
40 heads.
Kevin also asked another question. Kevin Curtis Allen.
Yeah.
Which was, apparently I'm not allowed to answer this question. What's your favourite collectible? Mine's actually belly button fluff. So I'm not sure why I wasn't allowed to answer that one.
Yeah, you failed to specify Disney.
First strike.
Old copies of magazines found under a hedge when I was a teenager.
Or by the train tracks. So I'm guessing he was specifically referring to Disney because he does have a picture of I think that's a Braille Mickey Mouse. I think it's called that. For those that don't know what that is, or Brio or something, but it's a Mickey Mouse figurine, but it's kind of split into different colours and patterns. So his shoes are 2 different colours and patterns, and the other shoe is 2 different colours and patterns. His body is about 4 different colours and patterns. His head is yellow, half his head is something else. His ears are different colours. They're quite colourful figurines.
But they're not Vinylmation.
And they're not Vinylmation, no. You can buy these in places like H. Samuels, and I'm sure other places as well. I personally don't get them. I've seen them for a multitude of Disney characters, but I don't understand what it's supposed to be. I don't get it. Which is how everyone feels about Vinylmation, so I understand the confusion, certainly. But guys, do you have a favourite Disney kind of collectible, or?
Mr. D, go on.
I guess we've got a few things we've collected over the years from our holidays. I've got a glow in the dark sci-fi diner frisbee.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, which we got when we went there, probably 98 or 2000. But in terms of collectibles that are proper collectibles, the only thing we've got is we've got a sort of fairly decent sized pin collection, and there's a couple there. Yeah, a couple there that the kids got me for my birthday, which were probably the first pins that we got. I think the first pins we got were the Millennium pins, but
yeah,
when we stayed there. But that holiday, the kids bought me a couple of pins. One of the kids bought me a Sorcerer Mickey, and the other one bought me a Mickey scuba diver, because I'd just done a scuba diving course. So those are probably my favourite ones.
God, some of those pins as well. Like, I mean, I think some of the vinyls are worth some money, but some of those pins are worth a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Especially some of those Millennium ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously you don't want to sell the ones that been bought by your kids, but you might have some coinage there.
Yeah, we got a few of the original ones. Yeah.
Speaking of coinage, I actually think one of my favourite things to collect in the parks, and one of the cheapest ones as well, is the pressed pennies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think they're quite cool.
Yeah, Kerry's got a collection of those.
Yeah.
Not just from Disney, but she's got quite a few Disney ones.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm not a huge collector of memorabilia like that. I've got a few, probably less than 20 pins on a board currently sitting behind me right now. The girls have got their pressed penny collections, but it wasn't a collect everyone from a penny machine we went past. It was, oh look, that one's got Eeyore on it.
Yeah.
So our oldest is into Eeyore and anything with Eeyore on it. So half of my pins that did have Eeyore on it have now been acquired. And the same for the younger one with anything with Tigger on it. In fact, when you go to the Crystal Palace restaurant, where all the 100 Acre Wood characters are, Tigger actually took my youngest daughter's stuffed Tigger and signed his autograph on the foot. So she hasn't. This Tigger is now, and this is like coming up for nearly 2 years ago, and it's been to bed with her every night since then, and we cannot put it in the washing machine. If any of you have got little kids and have suffered from the cuddly toy that has been to bed with them and drooled on and dribbled on and chewed, it absolutely stinks.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I don't know if I've said this before on the show or not, but our daughter has never had a dummy. We didn't want to try and give her one, but eventually we thought we'll try one, but she never took to a dummy. What she did take to was her Dopey.
Yeah. Because
Dopey has quite a big nose, his cuddly toy, and she has that as a comfort. So when she goes to bed, she has to go to bed with Dopey. Now, similar thing to what Paul's saying, but it's been a little bit easier for us because obviously it's not been signed, so it was okay, but we've actually acquired an extra 2 Dopies. So we now have a collection. So one is used, then is put in a wash basket, and then again. And yes, there's a cycle of Dopies. There's always a clean Dopey for when she needs to go and have a sleep. but it's not
a good
easy.
idea to cycle them regularly.
Yeah,
Dobby's got
we've got a spare Eeyore. It's very rare because we bought him 14 years ago on our honeymoon, and he got acquired by Ellie. But we've managed to source one that matches one from that era, the same colours and everything, but it's so much newer, and we haven't cycled them. It's like patently obvious you can't do it. So
the funny thing is that Alice doesn't actually care that we've got. She's seen the Dopies,
yeah.
so she knows that there's 3 different Dopies, and she does not care.
Excellent.
She just wants one.
Good choice.
That's what she's like for now. Wait till she's talking a bit more, and that could change.
Excellent. So I guess my favourite collectible, if I'm going to get slightly romantic about it, because I'm a couple of cans of beer down, is memories.
Oh, big softy.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
but no, I think it's very good. I mean, we've got a box of stuff from our trips to Florida, where we've got park maps of that week. Because that's a really simple one as well. Park maps.
Yeah.
Especially because they're quite often dated as well.
Park maps, coasters.
Yeah.
Anything else I can do with the photo album from that particular thing?
We got an extensive collection of those refillable insulated mugs.
Yep.
Yep, gone back to when actually every resort had its own mug, because now they've kind of standardised them, haven't they?
Yeah, with the little chips in the bottom.
Yep.
Excellent. Right, have we got any more? Oh, there was one question. The one last question at the top was from Craig. Question from me to you. If you could record a new podcast, what topic would it be about? Not sodding Disney. You're asking about on a Disney podcast, Craig. What's wrong with sodding Disney?
Well, no, because he's talking about something different.
Yeah.
So, what topic would it be about? I personally think that if we do a spin-off show, the topic of it should just be 4 blokes having a drink. That is a topic within itself.
What happened in the week's news this week?
Yeah, a bit like Badil and Skinner Unplanned. So pretty much actually what we do now.
Yeah.
But just going right instead of just making sure it's all focused on Disney, on something else. Failing that, I don't know, maybe Star Wars.
Yeah.
We all quite like Star Wars. I don't know if that's interesting enough.
Mine's fairly obvious. I would love to find people to do a James Bond podcast, but I've tried it, and what do you do? Read the books, go through the films, and then it kind of... There isn't a theme park, there isn't a ride. It's like, oh, what have we got? Oh, what's happened in the news? Here's the news from this week. There is still 24 more months to go before the next film.
Well, it's not, is there?
Not now.
It's probably about 24 weeks.
Yeah.
Less than that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll do that one. I don't know. Yeah. Nothing. Does anything else interest me as much as Disney parks and news and saving up money to go on holiday again there?
Mr. D?
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because there's all sorts of other podcasts out there. It's hard to find something that's completely original. I mean, I think if we were going to diversify, then we'd probably go broader than just Disney. Orlando or Florida in general. Yeah.
We could do East Coast After Dark.
Yeah.
We'd all have to go out there. Yeah.
Oh, what a shame. Sounds like a tragic thing. Let's get a Kickstarter going.
Yeah, I mean, if Virgin want to sponsor us, we're up for it.
Or any other travel company. We'll take anyone's money.
Yeah.
Speaking, going back to Star Wars quickly, did you guys see the short video I posted of my new Yoda?
No, I did not.
No.
Did you post that on your Facebook?
I posted it on as DisAfterDark, I think last Monday last week, so third, fourth. It's so I don't know if you've seen it in the Disney stores, but they do these quite tall talking Star Wars figures, and they're about £20 and last for the May the 4th holiday, which of course we all celebrate being Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
This is still doing buy a Darth Vader or Stormtrooper and get an additional figure for £1. And you found it. Awesome. And so they had these. So we bought a Darth Vader and Stormtrooper and got a Han Solo and got a Luke Skywalker and a Boba Fett. But next to them, they had these new Yoda dolls which had just come out, and they were £5 more, but a bit smaller. And I had thought, well, they all talk. What's the dealio with this one? What makes this one so special? Thinking nothing of it. Press the button, and have you just seen the video, Paul?
Yeah.
And he comes alive. Like, he doesn't, like when you got a talking toy and you press the button and,
The noise comes out.
Yeah, because that's a talking action figure. But this figure, the eyes and lips and ears all move in time. I honestly thought it'd been possessed when I first saw it. I was standing there, like, freaking a little bit out, and Lindsay came over and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I went, "That Yoda's talking."
You were looking around for the guy with his hand to his mouth, scratching his nose.
Absolutely,
like Push the talking trash can.
Yeah, which is surfaced in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, but he's there.
Pushes.
Push, yeah. But anyway, back to these Yoda dolls. So they're like £25. Sorry for the product placement, but it is honestly awesome. The next time you go to a Disney store, don't poo-poo it because it looks like a talking Yoda, because it is one. But you actually watch it in action, and it's amazing. For the money that they're charging for it, it's really good. It's really good. I was kind of blown away for it. Unfortunately, Alice hasn't taken to it in quite the same way.
She's frightened of it.
So when I press a button and it talks, it freaks her out. Now, she has got talking toys, so she's got like a talking Olaf and everything like that, and she's fine with that. But Yoda, I think because the eyes move as well, she doesn't get it. And she does not like it.
It's pretty cool for £25, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Anyway, on that bombshell.
Yeah, I gotta go potty. Too many siders. I'm in pain.
If you want to tell us how your potty journey went, of course, you can let people know via the website at www.DisAfterDark.com or email us at podcast@DisAfterDark.com.
You said this for years, but I quickly get through
Twitter at DisAfterDark, Facebook.com/DisAfterDark, MiceChat.com.
YouTube, DisAfterDark Podcast, Instagram, blah, blah, blah.
Growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Dis After Dark, the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
I'll take it the warning lights come on for like the energy to be cut or something.
Yeah. the bell for last orders. Mind you, this time of night it's a bit cold out in the beer garden right now.
Yeah, I think we need to pack up and go in, boys.
Candles are nice, though.
Those really eco-friendly, massive gas patio heaters. The Green Party will go mental at us.
But with one seat, they won't.
If they think they're hard enough, they can come down to the mouse's head, try and sort us out. Come on, bring on.
I think I usually go, and we're out.